Alright, hey guys, welcome back. Preston here, welcome. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be previewing the Steelers and Browns wild card matchup. Sorry it's been so long since my last video. I didn't get in a preview for the Steelers Browns regular season matchup, but that's okay. The Steelers basically, we took that game off anyways. We had rested multiple starters, all pros, Pro Bowlers, stuff like that. Just had a lot of guys not play. I will say that game it's sadly lost, but the fact we only lost by 2 with all of our backups was a pretty promising turn. And then some new developments that have happened to the Browns, unfortunately for them, but beneficial for Steelers fans. It seems like this is a game I expect, and I think I expect to win, and we better win. To me, I don't even know if you'd say borderline. I think it's just unexcusable if you lose to this Browns team. A Browns team you destroyed with your starters earlier in the season. Sorry, nose jacked up. And then you almost beat the last week of the season with a bunch of backups. So, you know what I mean? This is not a game you should lose. And it's up to Mike Tomlin, the coaching staff, and the players to make sure they get it done. It's been 2 years since we made the playoffs. I really don't want to crap the bed against a team we should beat in the opening freaking round of it, for crying out loud. Obviously, we had a rough December as Steelers fans, 3 losses. We hit a skid pretty hard. It felt like we smacked a brick wall. That Colts game gave us some hope. The second half, we had one half of good football, again with all of our starters, and then we looked good still with our backups last week. But hopefully, that's the thing. Sometimes it worries you when you give guys time off. They kind of needed the bye week with the way, the NFL scheduling and other teams getting COVID really kind of, screwed us up a bit where we didn't even have a real bye week. So they got an actual bye week this week 17. So, they can, no excuses, well rested, good to go against a team they're better than even when they're both healthy. And the Browns are less healthy than we are. So, we need to win this game. There's nothing else about it. This is a game we need to win, and we should win. So, it's what can I say, right? That's what I expect, and I think it's kind of what Steelers fans deserve. We missed the playoffs 2 years in a row now, you know what I mean? It's not something you want to see. We'll see what I can see about some of this, what the lines are, etc. Obviously, we finished the season 12-4. The Ravens finished 11-5. So pretty good year for Cleveland. Obviously, it's their best year in a long time. So you can give them that. But it's still, they were looking a little rougher towards the end of the year too. Currently, the ESPN FBI, the Football Power Index, gives us a 67.9% chance to win. We are a 270 favorite, and the spread is at 6. I think we should cover. I honestly think if we're the team that we're supposed to be, we can get this done and get a win. Obviously, there's other factors. I still believe that we would beat them head-to-head, fully healthy, but I think it's very important for you guys to know. I got some of this stuff listed. The Steelers will be out without Joe Hayden, which is a big blow. Our corners are useful. And, the Browns rely on the run game more, but they can pass the ball. They got pretty good receivers, and so not having Joe Hayden out there does suck, obviously. But I'm not going to complain as much. We also get Robert Spillane back from IR, which is huge. He's been our best coverage linebacker by far, with Devin Bush out from the ACL injury. And so not having Spillane out there, you could really see that just Williamson and Vince, I like them a lot, but they're not meant to be covering people, and it definitely, they got exposed, and it was a mismatch anytime they're trying to cover someone. So having Spilly back to cover, and that means that Williamson will probably get a little less reps, but he got a lot of experience in with our team too, which means it'll help if he ever gets rotated in and we play all 3 and stuff like that, different packages and whatnot. But either way, great to have Spilly back. Fowler, I don't know what we're going to do with him. Randy Fichtner seems hell-bent on he won't play him at tackle, so Chucks is going to stay in at right tackle. To me, I think it's debatably, I would give him a shot at left tackle because Villanueva, I love him, but man, he's been bad. He's been struggling pretty bad the last couple of weeks. Obviously, it won't happen though. Dude just got back too, so doesn't have a lot of practice, and it's for a position he hasn't played, so that'll be something for like a future question. If they think he can play left tackle, would they re-sign him and let Al walk, etc., etc. But for now, all I know is I'll be really disappointed if they start Filer over Kevin Dotson. I think Kevin Dotson has officially earned that starting guard spot. He's played out of his mind. He's made pretty much every all-rookie team you can find, and he's a fourth-round pick who's a beast and a mauler, and I think he gives a nice spark to the offensive line. He might be playing the best out of anyone on our offensive line. So if he gets benched, add that to the list of stuff where I got to question coaches here, man. You don't bench that guy. That's all I know. I do not want to see him get benched this game at all. So, And then, let's see. Sorry, guys. Yes, so I talked about Hayden being out. I talked about some of our guys coming back, so we're getting healthier. Obviously, you're not getting back the guy who tore their ACLs. No Banner, no Bush, no Dupree, etc., etc. But Edmonds is back, who is hurt. Ebron and Marsh are off the COVID list. They were contact tracing. They were close contacts with Joe. They didn't actually have it, so that's good. Ebron's obviously a big part of this offensive passing attack as well. And Marsh has only been on the team for like a week or two now, but he flashed on special teams, and you love to see that. So we're getting healthier, and the Browns got hit hard with COVID again. So here's the guys, just some of the latest guys. Ronnie Harrison, so the biggest names who won't play are Joe Bitonio, their Pro Bowl left guard, and Rodney Harrison, who's been, I believe, their starting safety, if not one of the guys the safety core in the Browns is kind of garbage right now, I'm not going to lie. So they, mix in and out, but obviously not having one of them probably does hurt. If you take away a guy who gets meaningful snaps from an already bad position, that means they're just going to be even worse, So those are two pretty big losses for them. Receiver Cardell Hodge is off the list too. That's something Browns fans would have to tell me about. I don't know how much of an impact he played, but it's still another player who won't be in the game. And I think the biggest thing is probably the fact their head coach and two other assistant coaches have tested positive as well, and they will not be able to coach or be a part of this wild card game. So their special teams coordinator is going to be the head coach for the game, and the offense coordinator is going to call plays since Stefanski's gone. So apparently Stefanski might be the play caller normally, which means I don't know what the OC does, but now he's going to have to call plays. I don't know how big of an impact it will play, but obviously I think it's a pretty big deal. Not having your head coach out there it's different for sure. I mean, it's going to take getting used to. Plus the fact you pair that with the coach, their main coach not being there, and the fact that they didn't get a real practice until Friday, the day I'm recording this. Actually, I'm technically recording this early Saturday. It's midnight here. This will be uploaded Saturday afternoon, hopefully, if you're watching this. Oh, yeah, make sure you like this video, please. It means a lot. It helps grow my channel. Also, hit the bell so you can be notified every time I make a Steelers video for you guys. I plan to continue making Steelers and Notre Dame and sports-related content throughout the offseason. You also might be seeing an uptick in NBA and NHL content as their seasons get more into the spotlight with the NFL season officially starting to wind down. Hopefully, I get to make Steelers videos, post-game and pre-game videos until February. That means we make the Super Bowl, and that'd be fantastic. I also plan, just hop on this channel. Remember, if you hit the bell, you don't have to remember, but if you want to see my post-game stuff, I do the post-game reactions live now, so right after the Steelers-Browns wildcard Sunday night matchup, I will hop on YouTube Live and do my regular breakdowns, but also take questions and talk with the chat during it. That's something I like to do now. I find it more engaging that way, and I can get direct feedback from you guys, so keep an eye out for that. Now let's get back to talking about this game. Let's see. They did get a safety back in Andrew Sendejo, but I'm not worried about him. He is not very good. Like I said, Harrison is better than Sendejo, so it's still an impact in that secondary. Also, I don't think they'll have Denzel Ward. I don't think they will. You don't quote me on that, but I don't think they will, and that's their top corner as well. So, like I said, basically all you need to know is that the Browns got hit with COVID at a bad time for them. And that's, you don't want to see. Okay, so the Browns are hoping to have Ward for Sunday's game, but he won't have a lot. He'd probably be rusty. But I do think it's still, just their injuries and COVID deals are in a worse situation than we are with ours. And you pair that with the fact that, to me, on paper, we're the better team anyways, fully healthy. We beat them, Like, we're technically not fully healthy, but both teams were healthier, and we beat them like 35-7. So I'm not worried about this Browns team. Forgive me if you think I'm too cocky or arrogant. I just expect more from this team now. 12-4. We started the year 11-0, and we could have won the last game too. We could have been 13-3 if we played starters. So kind of in my head, I think of that a bit too. It's a pretty darn good year, man. Obviously, you hate to see it fall apart the way you did. I think we'd be all happier about this season if the losses were actually just spread out. 4 losses is pretty darn good. 12-4 is a really good record in the NFL for almost any team. It's just the way we did it, where it was all in the end of the season, is where it sucks. But I have confidence that we should get back into it a little bit. Hopefully the bye week actually helps us instead of hurting us. If we can't be awake for a playoff game, we definitely don't deserve to be there. So I really hope this wouldn't be a case of the Steelers where we have games where we're just asleep at the wheel. I hope this is not one of those games, Obviously, I'll preview other matchups if we get to move past this one, but this is just one I really hope we make. The Browns also just have a lot of guys listed as questionable. These are obviously huge things. These are huge players and names that if they don't play, make an even bigger difference for us, and that is Jack Conklin, the tackle, Myles Garrett, the piece of crap defensive end. Come at me. No, I don't like the guy, but yeah, he's a defensive end. He's obviously a really good player for him. They're one of their better players, so not having him would have been huge. Terrence Mitchell, Donovan Peoples-Jones, the wide receiver, Sheldon Richardson, the defensive tackle, another corner in MJ Store, and another guard in Wyatt Teller. So imagine just in some hypothetical situation, if Teller and Conklin can't go, we're going to have a field day. We had 5 sacks on them with our backups last week, and they had guys out too. So just imagine what it'd be with that. No matter what, though, Bitonio will be out, which means hopefully guys like Cam Hayward and Tuitt, who are hit those guards, can take full advantage of that. I expect us to get after quarterback no matter what. We did that against the Browns the first time we beat them, too, with our relatively healthy rosters. But I expect most of these guys probably will play just purely off the fact, it's the playoffs, man. So, questionable. There's going to be guys, especially a team like the Browns, who haven't made the playoffs in freaking forever. I haven't been a lot. This is the first time in my lifetime that I've seen the Browns in the playoffs that I can remember anyways. So, that'd be huge. And I think that they'll play through some pain, some stuff. Usually in the playoffs, people can choose to play through stuff that they normally wouldn't because they know it's, the last games of their season, man. This is make or break. There's no time for time off. So we'll see what happens there. But even with all these guys, like I said, they're still banged up. No Bitonio is huge. That's probably obviously the biggest name, and then the lack of coach also sucks for them. I don't think they're as banged up as maybe some people would think. Steelers, keep an eye out for our kicker, Chris Boswell, being out. He's been dealing with freaking groin injury again, on and off all year. Luckily, that our backup, that Matthew Wright kid, isn't horrible. And I really hope, like I said, we wouldn't have to rely on a field goal kicker to win this game. I truly believe we're just the better team, and we need to play like it and get it done. So, I don't know what else to say, really, guys. I went through the injuries. I went through kind of what I think is going to happen. Usually my previews and stuff are way longer, 30 minutes. But it's just kind of what's left to say, We just played them. We've played them 2 times already this season. Our guys seem confident. Shout out, okay, so I'll mention some of this stuff. Deontay Johnson is looking way better than he was. I think these are some factors in this drought kind of ending. Deontay and Ebron were dropping a lot of stuff, and they got their crap together. They just weren't dropping as much, especially Deontay. Obviously, Ebron didn't get to play last week, so that affects it a little bit, but Deontay's looking like his old self again. If he didn't miss the 2 games he missed this year, he would be a 1,000-yard receiver, which would have been awesome. Unfortunately, he was not, but hey, injuries happen, right? This could be James Conner. This could be a lot of guys. This is our last run with a lot of these players. We have 20 free agents this offseason and no money to sign anyone. So offseason, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of offseason videos because I have a feeling a lot of roster turnover is going to happen with this team. We're going to lose some guys who we really don't want to. And the draft is going to be fun too. I don't know my exact plans for the draft yet. I've been honestly thinking about doing a live stream through the draft, the first round at least. But we'll have to see. I'll definitely make videos about our draft, our recap as a whole. So we'll go from there. But obviously, let's not focus on the draft right now. We need to be focused on winning a Super Bowl. So, I guess I'll do my score real quick. The spread's 6. I already mentioned that, and we're a 270 favorite on the money line. The under is set at 47.5. I'm going to go with... I still don't know. Just the fact we know each other makes this more interesting. I think it'll be a little more low scoring than people would maybe think, I like our offense, but they've obviously not been what they were for a while, and I think our defense is still good enough to kind of carry us through this. I'm going to go, let's say 28-21. I know it's kind of like a boring, typical score, but it seems like it's something that could happen. So that'd cover, if bettors want to listen to me, I don't know if you should, but it would cover the 6-point spread, be a touchdown game. I think we should win by at least a touchdown. Obviously, I'll settle for any kind of win, but I at least want us to look better than we did and have been for the month of December. It's a new month. It's January. Hopefully our January football goes a lot better than our December football. So let me know what you guys think about this matchup. I'll go into impact players real quick because I haven't done that yet. There we go. See, I'm missing some stuff. I think on offense, the impact player for me is going to be Nick Chubb. The Browns' pass game is decent, but I don't think Odell even played. Didn't Odell had a season-ending injury? So, he won't play. And so, with Jarvis and the boys and some of them out with COVID and Donovan Peoples-Jones was questionable, even with Odell, though, their pass game still leaves something to be desired. I'm still not really, knock on wood, I'm not real scared of Baker Mayfield. I think it's fair for me to say that. But their run game is obviously where they could do some damage. Not having Bitonio will hopefully hurt that run game a bit. It means our defense can do their jobs, but they just got to step up and shut down this run game because you pair the fact that their pass game has not been that great and the fact that they're running the ball a lot with their head coach. When you don't have a head coach, a whole new play caller, it's probably, safe bet is to try to run the ball a lot. And so we're going to be dependent on shutting down Chubb and Hunt. And I mean, that's going to be a big deal coming in this game. That's going to be a big impact. If we can't shut them down at all, they run all over us. Obviously, that would mean the Browns have a shot at winning because, just having dominating time of possession and being able to move the ball at will is a huge factor in any game, and you don't want to see that happen. So we need to shut down Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I'll just highlight Chubb more because obviously he's, to me, the better rusher. 1,067 yards and 12 touchdowns with missed games due to injury, I believe is what it was. So, dude's a beast. I hate that he's on the Browns. I don't like the Browns having good players, but I got to admit I'm wrong, and the dude's a beast. On our offense, our X factor will be, it's got to be Big Ben, man. This offense has kind of been living and dying by Big Ben. If he has a game like he did against the Bills, we don't stand a chance. If he plays like he did in the second half against the Colts or against, the Jaguars, we got a real chance. Or the first Browns game, If he can not turn the ball over and not miss wide open guys, we can win this game. I also think it was encouraging to see that if we did get a couple deep balls in the Colts game in that second half, if we can open up the offense even more, we have the potential to be even more dangerous than I thought. So offense X factor has been our Roethlisberger for us, Nick Chubb for them. On defense, I'm going to have to go with the guy I don't like, and that's Myles Garrett. If he plays, which he will, because, he played week 17. He just didn't play every single snap. He did take some time off, so maybe he'll have to rest sometimes still, which is unfortunate for the Browns, but obviously he is a huge impact player, and getting pressure on Big Ben obviously makes his job harder, and if he rushes the outside at all, Big Al has been struggling with that recently, and it's just, it's Dotson's a rookie. He's a real good rookie, but he's a rookie in this offensive line. It will be tested from Myles Garrett. And they're going to rely more on Myles Garrett because I believe Olivier Vernon is out too. Just to add that to the list of people the Browns will be without. Their other edge rusher, will not be available for this game. So they're going to have to rely on Garrett pretty heavy. You could probably mention guys in the secondary. Like if Ward does play, obviously he has a huge job to do, and that's to try to shut down this Steelers wide receiver room that is good at spreading the ball out, and Ben finding the open guy is the most important thing there is. That's why Ben's the offensive X factor. But Garrett will be my defensive X factor. Sorry, my Steelers defensive X factor is tougher. Sorry, my mouth is stupid dry right now. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Usually you'd go for one of the studs like TJ Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, who are both named first-team All-Pro, so shout out to them. But I'm going to go with the second-team All-Pro, and that's Cam Hayward. I mentioned this already. Joe Bitonio, the guard, is out. And I believe from what I've heard, that guard spot he's at is usually where Cam Hayward is lined up at. And I already mentioned the importance of shutting down the run game. So him being able to clog the lanes, shut down the inside runs, and being able to get to the quarterback, taking advantage of a matchup will be huge for us. Internal pressure is always a great thing to have. Obviously, we need to work on maintaining Mayfield. I can't stand the dude, but he does evade pressure pretty well. So that's where TJ and especially Alex Highsmith, the young kid, has a big job, and that's keeping him in the pocket from the outside. But, I mean, internal pressure is just a good thing to have. And I already mentioned shutting down the run game is super important, and your middle guys are a big piece of that. And Hayward is one of them. Dude's a beast. It's a down year from last year, but it's hard to I mean, dude had 9 sacks last year. Also, I'm tired of the disrespect of Stephon Tuitt. What's going on, NFL? I mean, you at least better mention the dude for comeback player of the year. Torres Bicep missed the season last year. Has 11 sacks this year. Can't even get a Pro Bowl or a first or second team All-Pro. Like, oh, come on. Not even second team All-Pro. The Pro Bowl's the more annoying part, but obviously the Pro Bowl's still a freaking fan vote. It's all a popularity contest. The dude had 11 sacks, man. The only other guy doing that in the middle is Aaron Donald and sometimes Cam Hayward. And Hayward got a Pro Bowl and a second team All-Pro. Tuitt got nothing. Disrespect's real for my Golden Domer. But hey, as long as he keeps killing it for us, I guess it really doesn't matter. It just, I hate when I see our guys not get the recognition I think they deserve. And same thing with TJ Watt. TJ Watt does not win Defensive Player of the Year with burn down NFL headquarters. Just for the NFL, that was a joke. Don't come after me, please. But I mean, in my heart, I'd be very angry if they freaking robbed TJ Watt of Defensive Player of the Year again. But he's even more deserving this year than he was last year. But in my opinion, he was deserving last year as well. So, yeah, obviously, I mean, TJ Watt's a huge deal, too. But I just wanted to mix it up a little bit and go Hayward for our defense, Garrett for their defense. I gave you my prediction, 28-21. I have the Steelers covering the spread. Like I said, this is a game they should win, and I expect them to win. This team is too good to lose to a banged-up Browns team without their head coach. If they fall apart again this year, I'm going to have a rant about Tomlin or something, man. I like Tomlin. I get annoyed by the crowd. It's always fire Tomlin. But the 2 years before this, we lost 4 of our last 6 games in 2018 to miss the playoffs. And then last year, I know we had our backup, but we still would have made the playoffs if we won 1 of our last 3 games, and we lost the last 3 games. It's been an unfortunate trend recently that we fall apart to end the year, and this time we just won enough at the start of the year that our falling apart, which still happened, just wasn't enough to make us miss the playoffs. So that's got to change no matter what, man. Next year, we can't have a December like this. I'm tired of that. We used to play our best football in this time of year, and we need to get back to that. So all I can do is hope that we got the slug off us. That skid that we've hit the last 3 seasons is over with, and we can play like the Pittsburgh Steelers are supposed to play. Most Super Bowl wins in NFL history. We are those guys. We got a dominant defense, pretty darn good offense. This is a game I expect to win, and I demand we win. Doesn't make a difference if I demand it or not. But, I mean, we should win this. It's just you can't look at these teams on paper with who's out and all that stuff and honestly say that the Browns should win this game. They're not expected to. There's a reason we're 6-point favorites, man. We got to get it done. And then next week, we'll one matchup at a time. We'll focus on it'll either be the Bills, the Colts, or the Titans, and we'll deal. I mean, the Bills, the Titans, or the Ravens, and we'll deal with that when the time comes. Probably Buffalo, but, like I said, this is it, one game at a time. Let's get it done. We should win this game. I mean, but I'm not getting my hopes up, We'll go from there. Let me know what your score predictions are below. Let me know if you're as confident as I am. Maybe I'm too confident, or maybe you're too nervous. We can talk about it in the comment section below. Like I said earlier, please like this video. It's just very helpful for this channel. Helps get this video more promotion, and just, it's nice. It's a nice thing to do. It doesn't take much time at all. Also, subscribing would be awesome. I'm trying just to continue to grow the subscribers. My subscriber growth is slower than I would hope it'd be. I'm really hoping I can hit 140 by at least, halfway through this year, 200 subs would be beautiful at some point. But I just got to continue steady growth. But if you like the video, just please subscribe. I mean, especially if you see multiple, man, because the Steelers content will continue to come, and it'd be great if you just are subscribed to this channel so you can get that content when it comes out for you guys. Anyways, once again, this is Kenny, and Preston. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for my post-game reaction to this video and other off-season content, draft grades, etc. I'll see you guys in the next video. Go Steelers. Let's win this game.